Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's part 3 today and we are back with Cefn Druids for transfer deadline day in Wales. Not really a full one because the loan window domestically opens a few days later, but the last chance on the permanent transfer front for our Director of Football to do anything before January. We've also got a game away at Flint Town, the side expected to finish bottom this season. And if we do want to be a mid-table side, meet our expectations and avoid the sack, it's a very important game for us to try and win. So if you're looking forward to all of that, it should be a bumper episode. Please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM22 content. If you've missed anything from the start of our 2 long-term stories, you can find the links in the eye above to the first 2 of this one and to the Hemel Hempstead story too. There's also a link up there to our beta live stream series on Twitch, and my word, it's been a difficult start. We're live with that every day, so come and check us out if you haven't already. But a massive thank you for all of your support so far. It's so greatly appreciated. Now let's talk about Cefn Druids, because it doesn't look great at the moment. It's 5 points from 5 games, not the greatest goal difference. We're not really scoring, we're not looking fluent going forward. However, I want to put this into a bit of perspective. We've lost 2 league games out of our 5 so far, and they're against TNS and Bala, the 2 teams who have got a perfect record at the top of the Welsh Premier League. Bala with the likes of Dave Edwards, a former Welsh international, TNS the professional side at the top of the league. I would argue, taking that aside, 5 points from 3 games isn't bad. We're not going to win every game, but we look solid at the back. We're very rarely letting in goals, as you can see from the top right. And although some of the games are a little disappointing that we're not winning them, and like against Haverfordwest, the keeper was man of the match and we were awful, we're still getting points. And that excites me because we need to get mid-table. It doesn't matter how we play. You can see we've not got a goal scorer, loads of people on 1 goal. And we are a little bit short in a couple of areas. There's a very familiar pattern as well when I show you just why we're losing the games we've lost and why we're struggling in some of the others. I've learned something new today about the transfer window in FM22. If you're in a Director of Football challenge and you're not set to control the transfers, you don't get invited to deadline day. Now that happened in FM21, but we're now at 10 o'clock on the final day of the window, and so far I've seen nothing. So I might be proven wrong later on, but that's what I think the situation is here. We're also now missing our best striker, Cody Roberto. He's out with a pulled calf muscle for 3 to 4 weeks, and that might explain why we've struggled a little bit in front of goal. But let's start with the transfers that have been done, and you can see there's a few bits that might be done as well. So transfer history. Joe Stanton and Kane Owen have joined the club. Kane Owen is a man we very much needed, particularly given what happened after that. Kane Owen is a left back joined from Pennybont, another league rival, so good to see us improving by taking players from other teams. 2.5-star ability, solid left back. He's done really well for us so far, started the season well at Pennybont too. He's the type of player that just fills a role steadily. He's often fit, his natural fitness is his best physical attribute. He's brave, he's determined, and he's okay technically. I'm happy enough with him. He's very versatile too, but Kane Owen, a very much needed signing. The reason he was needed is because a loan offer had been accepted for Max Davidson from Donegal Celtic. He's a young Northern Irishman, but what's annoying is he was the best under 19 in our academy. So for the Welsh Premier League rules, he would have still filled a spot on the bench. And now he's not able to do so because he's been sent out on loan and for no wage contribution either. Very frustrating. However, the Director of Football's tried to rectify that. Joe Stanton is the latest man to come in. It's a free transfer deal. He's a 16-year-old Welsh left winger. We needed a backup in that area. He's never going to displace Charlie Edge. But if we need cover in the middle, Edge can go in, Stanton can play on the wing. And he's got the potential to be really good. He'll make loads of appearances off the bench this year because he is an under 19 in the squad. But we still need a little bit more. We need a centre half. We'll talk about the players that might be coming in and out. Callum Pearson has been there for ages. So he's a natural right back who can play centre half. And my word, he'll be playing centre half if he comes here. He's good in the air, not very strong, but he'll do a job. And he's far better than anything we've got there at the moment. Released by Bristol City in the summer. But there are other clubs after him, so I'm guessing he'll probably reject us, having given it this amount of time. 2 of the experienced players look like they're going out as well. Stefan Edwards was transfer listed. He's now got offers from Airbus, Prestatyn and Gresford. Tony Davis looks like he's off to either two of the same clubs or Hollywell. He was complaining about the lack of depth at centre-half, ironically, which given he was the backup centre-half is bizarre, but still, he looks like he's going to be on his way. Experience out of the squad, fresh blood in, but it's not quite as active as we'd like it to be. Let me go and have a look at the schedule to show you what's been happening since you were last here. And you can see we've actually scored 1 league goal in 5 games. It's pretty embarrassing. We've only let in 3 though, and 3 unbeaten now. So we started against TNS. See if you can spot the pattern in the match ratings on the right hand side, where the mistakes might have come from, where the goals might have come from. I'll give you a clue. It's the man with a yellow card next to his name who shouldn't be anywhere near the first team if we had a decent player at centre half. Phil Mooney, 5.7, mistake for the first goal when we were holding our own. Flint Town, 1-0 defeat, first minute goal. Look at the rating, 5.8 Phil Mooney, made an individual error, and we lost the game. Against Carnarvon, a 0-0 draw. Actually did far better in that one, but against weaker opposition, we saw them in the cup. A 1-0 win at Aberystwyth. This game was just my favourite moment, and it probably will be one of my favourites even at the end of the save. We went down to 10 men on a stroke of half-time. Yolani Bayo with just a stupid challenge on a yellow card. Cody Roberto then got his injury. George Harry came off the bench, scored a penalty. Agyeman was brilliant. Ricky Watts in the ball-winning role. I lost my vendetta that day. Fantastic performance from him. But we bounced back with a 0-0 draw at home to Haverfordwest, and Michael Jones was the star of the show. Look who had the worst rating on the pitch. Phil Mooney, left centre-half, made 2 individual errors, but Michael Jones bailed him out that time. So if we can improve that left centre-half position, if we can get Pearson or someone of an equivalent quality in, I genuinely think we can do mid-table pretty comfortably. We're going to struggle for goals all year. We've got 3 strikers who aren't brilliant. One of them's injury prone, one of them's inconsistent, and one of them can't really finish. So it's never going to be fantastic, but we can meet our objectives if we do that. So we're looking at this day with a lot of importance. You can see, if I show you the calendar, that the deadline is at midnight tonight, going into Thursday. But we've not been asked to take part in deadline day, so I presume that's because we've set our transfers elsewhere. But we're still just as keen to find out what happens. Our director of football has got a lot of work to do, and I need him to produce. I'm hoping if the 2 defenders go, he'll start acting big. Cross your fingers, let's skip ahead to news. Well, first action of the day, 11:15 AM, and Davis and Edwards have both gone, and they've both gone for small wages, reductions on what they were on here, to Airbus UK, who I think are in the north now, are they? They are, but they've probably got a better side and a better reputation than us. So 2 players out from the defensive ranks. Surely we've got to get a centre-half in. I know left-back's been sorted already. And interestingly, when the recruitment meeting took place a week before the end of the window, they were highlighting left-back and right-wing as the areas for improvement. I hope that's just because they had a bid in for Pearson already and they still want a centre-half. If they haven't got a backup option, we have Mooney till January, I think we might get sacked. Oh dear. Callum Pearson has gone to Connors Quay. Don't blame him, he's going to the Champions instead of coming to us. That makes sense. 110 quid a week there. We were offering him nothing because we haven't got any wage bill left because he's blown it all on a couple of others. And he's got a 3-year deal there. So I completely understand that. It's so disappointing because there's 12 and a half hours and someone else has to come in. Please, come on, director of football. Well, this isn't filling me with much hope. We've got Adam Sharif, who can provide cover in a central defensive role. I don't need cover. I need a blooming starter. He's got 2-star ability, 4.5 potential. He can't head a ball. He's not strong, but he is an upgrade on what's there already. And he's got decent positioning. So, do you know what? At this point, we'll just take it. This is something that I mentioned in the last episode is a bit of a glitch in the beta. It has been confirmed now. Even if you set your responsibilities as we have, let me just go and show you. For the staff to be appointed by somebody else, as you can see there, we're still getting a confirmation message at the moment, and the responsibilities bit there doesn't quite work. So that's one of the slight beta glitches, but anything he agrees to, Ben Williams, I'm just pressing yes. So it's still his decisions at the end of the day. We've skipped to 7:30 in the evening, and there are 7 messages. It's got to be something good, surely. Let's click on the first one. Liam Griffiths joins as a scout. Sharif's rejected us for Carnarvon, who we've beaten and drawn against this season. Oh, that's ridiculous. He feels Carnarvon's squad is slightly stronger than ours. Not proving it on the pitch though, are they? Monthly manager performance review, we're up to B minus, which is nice. Tactics working well. Club vision slightly above. Need a bit more on transfers though. Squad dynamics update, it's okay. It's not too bad at the minute. Cefn Druids show lone interest in Summerfield. Please be a good centre half. He is centre back from Newtown who's earning 30 quid a week. He ain't going to be that good for that. 2.5 star ability though. That's a big upgrade on what we've got. Is he a decent player? He is a natural left back as well, actually. His attributes are appalling. How is he 2.5 star? It must just be because he's quick and a good decision maker. His positioning, his tackling, his heading, his strength and his jumping reach are awful. He's 5'10". That can't be the only centre half you leave us with this season. I mean, it's an upgrade, but barely. And 30 quid a week, we're already over the wage bill. Or in fact we were, until the other two went. Oh, it's too late in the evening for another one to come in as well. This is going to be so disappointing. Dan Summerfield is in. 26-year-old defender. Do the coaches rate him the same as the director of football? Yes, they do. 2.5 star ability. I mean, he's going to start, but he isn't improving our defensive problems much, is he? Let's see if with 4 hours to go, there's any other magic to follow. Dan Summerfield, you're into the squad. Please give us one more. One good centre half, and I'll praise you like I did Pat Nevin. Well, a couple of things learnt today. It looks like we're going to have to wait till we get to the Football League with Hemel Hempstead to experience a proper deadline day. Secondly, well, what can you say? A very underwhelming centre half, given the targets we've had all summer. That kid that went to Newtown, Callum Pearson, Lucas Murray, who was earlier in the summer. And we've ended up with Summerfield, who is absolutely shocking attribute-wise. He's quick, he might be able to recover some of his mistakes, and he is an upgrade on Mooney, but I'm not confident. We're going to need a miracle this season. To compete for mid-table is going to be a tough ask. We might well stay up. I don't think we've got a risk of going down. I think we'll compete in the cups. If we can get maybe a League Cup final or something like that, it might just give us the edge if we slightly underperform. But for a first job, we found out how hard it's going to be. That is the transfer window in total. Bickerstaff, a decent loan from Wrexham. Ricky Watts from Haverfordwest is an emergency backup. Kane Owen, a solid left back, but only because another's been let go. Joe Stanton, one for the future, but does fill the under-19 quota. And Dan Summerfield, let's call him the worst of a decent bunch when it comes to centre-halves, because it could have been so much better. It's not a disaster, but that is not the man who's going to lead us to the top half of the Welsh Premier League. So lower mid-table, I think, is now the target. Let's skip ahead and play Flint Town. Well, a big game in the Welsh Premier League and a big game for us early in our career, because for all the disappointment, if we win this game and TNS beat Barry, we'll be in 4th place on 8 points and looking pretty comfortable. Let's have a look quickly at the season preview just to see if the position expectations have changed. They haven't really. To be honest, it shows that we're going to be lower mid-table if anything this year. If we get in the top half, it's a miracle. But don't forget, if we're between 4th and 7th, we'll be in the European playoff and we'll have an outside chance of changing the save forever next season. But when you look at some of the other players on that side, Ashley Richards, former Welsh international, playing for Haverfordwest. Neil Eardley off to Connors Quay. Dave Edwards we talked about. Dion Donoghue we've played against already. There's so many really good players here. Even Gregor Zabret, a hero for us with Bangor last year. Such a good goalkeeper at Aberystwyth. It shows what we're up against. We haven't really got that one blockbuster player that everyone else has got. We've got a few that are well rated, but we haven't got a big name. Jack Evans as well at Pennybont. I was really surprised he turned up there. But let's get on with the Flint Town game. I think they're one of the other few sides that haven't got a superstar. Hence we're predicted to be at the bottom of the table. We're going to get on all the opposition instructions. Let's see what changes we can make. I think we're going to go for Phil Mooney out, who's dropped to 1 star now. Dan Summerfield will come straight in for his debut. On the bench, we'll have Phil Mooney anyway. Then we're going to also bring Ricky Watts back onto the bench for... Well, you can just go in the spare space, actually. And then the other one was Yolani Bio back from suspension. He will replace Ben Lockett. And Lockett will come into the squad for... I'm tempted to say Pommy because we've got Ferreira on the right, Stanton on the left. We don't really need him involved in there. So that is our squad for today. It's not the strongest, it's not the best, but this is the 11 in full. It's Jones between the sticks, Lewis and Owen, two much better fullbacks on each side now. And in fact, we can put Owen as a fullback on support later, but he is better in the defensive duty for now. We've got Lever and Summerfield, first time for that partnership at centre-half. Agyemang and Edge on the wings. Agyemang now getting better as a right midfielder, up to competent in that position now, and up to 3-star, which might make a difference to his performances. Pavel Vieira reunited with Yolani Bayo in the middle, and then Bickerstaff, partnered by George Harry today. Still the injury persists for Roberto. He's got a week or two to go, so we'll probably miss the next game too. But this is a massive game to make sure we're not involved in a relegation scrap this year. If we win it, I'll start to feel fairly comfortable. And these are the lineups. The two names that are most recognisable to me in that Flint Town team are Kai Edwards and Michael Wilde, who have played for other clubs that I've managed in this nation many years ago. Aside from that though, this is one of the few games of the year we should be favourites. And we've got to take advantage of it. Dan Summerfield looking nervous on his debut. That's not really a good start. Hopefully he's not going to be like that every game. But let's get into the first half, try and get on the front foot, and we might even go positive if it looks too even early doors. Half an hour update. It's a usual low scoring, low entertainment game for us, but it's what we've got to do. We're dominating the stats without having any clear chances. TNS are doing us the favour at Barry, and we're keeping a clean sheet again. That is our task every game this season. Try and keep a clean sheet, and if you nick 5 or 6 extra wins on top, you're going to be lower mid-table. Charlie Edge has picked up a knock. I know we want to win this one, but we can't take risks with him. Young Joe Stanton is going to get a game. You're going to get to see him for the first time. But let's get into the second half. I don't know whether to stick or twist, but early doors in the second period, it was Flint Town coming forward. Owens wins it back by his own corner flag, gives it to Stanton. Back to the left back again. Didn't really want to turn and take his man on. Not really the exuberance of youth on display there, is it? Owen at left back again. Can we get out of this situation? Stanton to Harry. Really missing Roberto as that big physical target man up top. Owen gets it again, but we're not going anywhere. We just look nice and look comfortable. Stanton cuts in from the left though. Lovely switch to Agyemang. Go on, take him on. Have a go. Put a cross in. Agyemang does just that. Bickerstaff's there. Good save from the keeper down to his left. It's excellent work. Then he's brought down, but no penalty given. One cleanly, says the referee. Barry Town United back on terms. Kane McLagan, who we've had history with before. And we've got another throw on the left with Owens to Harry. Inside to Stanton. Looked good since he's come on. Got another chance to get to the byline. Crosses towards Bickerstaff, who heads just over. We started this half much, much better. And we created a couple of good chances too. Stanton already looking a standout player. Harry struggling up front. I'm tempted to maybe put Agyemang up there. Should we have a go? We'll put Agyemang up front because we haven't got anyone on the bench. He can switch with Bickerstaff. In fact, I don't think that's a good idea. Is there any other role other than a target forward? Advance forward and poacher. It's worked for us before. It'll work for us again. Harry will be replaced by Jose Ferreira. And we'll leave the last sub 10 more just in case of injury. Or just in case of a mistake from Summerfield. Right, I've twisted. I said I wouldn't and I might regret it any second. I've gone positive because we are dominant. It's into the box from a corner. Headed clear as far as the edge to Llewellyn. Back to Craven, don't you dare. Into Williams. Oh my words. First shot on target of the game. We've absolutely pasted them. Look at the stats when they come up here. Absolutely insane. 14 shots to 4, 5 on target to 1. But we're getting FMs. It's the classic old defeat this is going to be. Nervous is Dan Summerfield. He's got the worst rating of the outfield players. We haven't got a good enough centre-half. Phil Mooney to come on. Disenchanted. Don't be too dramatic. And the man I've been calling Ben Lockett is actually Brandon Lockett. So not too many mistakes in there. What can we do? What can we really do about this situation? I feel like we might be able to go attacking. I'm going to try and encourage them, but it's now a Flint Town free kick. And since we've gone more attacking, they've actually dominated the match. So I'm going to go all out and see what happens. As we've got a corner with Ferreira. Please salvage something. Vieira's header's poor. Loops over the bar. If it had been on target, the keeper could have just walked and picked it up. This is one of the really frustrating games early in a career. TNS have bailed us out with a late winner against Barry Town United. But that'll be the worst defeat of the season. Not good enough. 17 shots, not made one count. And we lose 1-0 after conceding a silly goal from a second ball from a set piece. There's a lot of work to do here. The lack of good centre-half is going to cost us. Summerfield is clearly not much better than Mooney. And if he doesn't start performing at some point soon, we're going to be left fighting for our job before long. And if you get sacked by Cefn Druids, where do you go from there? This is very glum for episode 3. But if we'd have got Pearson, I'd have been feeling a bit confident. Edge is out for 2 weeks. He's going to miss the next game. Bickerstaff is in a goal drought. Summerfield made his debut, but he's not been hugely successful. And we, at the end of this month, have got 2 shocking games in a row coming up. We've got to get some results in the next 3 matches because Connors Key at home and TNS at home will be the next episode. And it is an absolute stinker on paper. So if you're looking forward to that and you did enjoy this episode, please do put a thumbs up on it. A bit disappointed that you can't watch Transfer Deadline from afar, but I guess they were putting the director of football in my shoes, so it kind of makes sense. He didn't really do much with it though, did he? Threatened to bring in a few brilliant players and then left me with absolute dross at the end of it. And not really that much activity either towards the end, it must be said. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got to try and get the best out of this side. Maybe when the domestic loan window opens in a few days, he'll be able to find someone from one of the rivals in the division. But who's going to let their centre-half come to us if they're in a scrap with us in the bottom half? I just don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think there's anything we can do tactically. Is it just that we can't afford to be missing our star centre-forward? We can't afford to be missing Charlie Edge for a couple of games. That could be the decisive moment for us. Key players out turns us from a lower mid-table side to a relegation-threatened side. If you want to stay up to date with the series, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back tomorrow at 3:30 with another instalment of this one. In the meantime, at 11:30, we'll have our daily Hemel Hempstead save too. Thank you for your support on both of them. It really does mean a lot. You can find the beta stream save over on Twitch up in the eye above. Been an awful start in that one. Hard work again, and it looks like we've got our work out there as well as here. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our very painful episode. And I'll see you next time against the 2 best sides in the league, where I can't imagine it will get a whole lot better. I'll see you there.